Wonderful. Okay, great. Perfect. I'm perfect. Okay. We're here. We're alive. We're ready. We're present. And we're very excited to introduce two incredible artists in their own right. First, I'd like to introduce Mordechai Edel. In England, Mordechai Edel studied Monet and Chagall techniques under the tutelage of Impressionist artist Andre Drucker. His works are inspired by biblical, spiritual, and Kabbalistic themes and often have a dreamlike quality. He met his wife Annie while singing in the Israel's National Opera, and they have since moved to Vancouver, Canada. Harmoniously, they endeavor to draw from God's original creations, transforming life's challenges into painted artidote, blessings of hope and joy for one and all. Mordechai, it is such an honor to have you present with us today. It's been incredible to see the textual journey that you've gone on along with Rabbi Cahana. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for those beautiful, beautiful words. It sounded almost like it came out of Mos Tzur.
We're at that moment of the year.
Yeah.
The Ma'oz Tzur. And speaking of Tzur, the art that you've created is for this week's Parsha, Vayetze, where Jacob lays his head against the Tzur, against the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what we said.
before we begin, let's make a l'chaim. Let's open up with some intention for the evening.
May I add a link into that?
Please.
You talked about Tzur. The Tzur Yisroel, Kuma B'Israel, but maybe no connection at all. But Tzoros, Yaakov Avinu, he's got his head down. Remte is thinking, wouldn't it be so wonderful to go up this ladder of Sulam? Lamed is Lamed is the letter for ladder, right? Go up the Sulam, to bring Shalom into the world. Yeah. And this is Simcha Neged Soros. So, and what we say in Tefillah Sederech is Hamitra Gashos Levo Ba'olam. All these kotzim, all these things coming to you. At the same time, he's lying on the tzuros, maybe. And you gotta, that's thumbs up, yeah?
Mm.
So I, if I may, just a thought, because I saw from the Simon Wiesenthal Center, he mentioned that Rabbi Haya, who used to be the rabbi in Vancouver, Sharet Tzedek, he's the founder of the Simon Wiesenthal Center in Los Angeles. and I get his emails once in a while. And he reminded us that this week, actually tomorrow, is tomorrow and the next day is Kristallnacht. By the way, interestingly, because my mother, she rest in peace, she was, her hometown was Vienna, and she went through it, and she was there. She left Vienna in 1939 in the very last moment. But she always said that she didn't know anything about, she knew certainly about all the goings on, Lo Aleinu, but she never referred to it as Kristallnacht. She didn't know that name. But anyway, so Simon Wiesenthal Center, they reminded us that this week is indeed Kristallnacht, and this is a week of remembrance. Lot of things going on. So it's Parashat Vayetzeh. It's right on the nose, and tonight is the yahrzeit for, I observe, for my great grandfather, the Maharsha, Moreno Rav Shmuel Eliezer Edel Halevi, and so I have a little l'chaim here, and what else we have this week? We have Parashat Vayetzeh. This is repeating the same concept, that the idea of possibly that Yaakov is dreaming of all this wonderful climbing up the ladder, and only good things will happen. We may not know it at the moment, but in the end, please God, will be. And you told me that it's your mother's birthday today.
Today.
So
from the ashes, from the tzoros to be reborn, to be recreated. Yeah.
So do we sing happy birthday, or when men sing da da di da da la la, glezel lechaim, oy mamele,
mamele. Oh, wonderful.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mama. That's what you call her, right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Chaim.
Mine.
Amen. That's 91.
Amen. Great transition. I want us to have time for you to present your art that you've made in recognition and thinking about Vayetze, and there's so much depth and so much symbolism in it. So I really want you to share with us what you've done inside of this piece and what speaks to you. What's going on?
Wow. Wait a minute. I can't see my is my signature on that?
Yes.
No.
Yes, here.
You did a tremendous job on the computer. It looks wonderful. Thank you, Dvir. Yeah. This is you'd like me to tell you? What do you see in it?
It's phenomenal. From the yellow lettering of Sulam slowly going into that white palette of the Sukkah emerging from the Sukkah, from the mitzvah of creation, of construction that we have, into its primordial state in the Vav, going back to the state of the tree. And you have on the other end, the ultimate creation of all of our works are towards the construction of the temple, with the mem here from Mikdash, from Sukkah to Mikdash, but then the lamed, that ladder, ends up being the primordial state of connection to God. That the Mikdash is nothing without that connection from heaven to earth. And that's the material that constructs the Mikdash, the conceptual Mikdash that we're all building in our own minds. And the Sukkah, it's on earth, it's planted, it's fixed. But the Mikdash only has stability, only has support through leaning into that ladder, through the support of our own ascents. That's what I see. I see so much. There's every step of the staircase ladder all the way up to heaven. There's more and more sprinkled in details. It's really a beautiful piece. But please share with us your intentions.
Well, if I may, thank you. My mind jumps to the Vilna Gaon, that I once read that the Vilna Gaon never made it to Eretz Israel, and he questioned, I don't know if this is accurate what I'm saying, but as far as I recall, he questioned himself. He didn't feel worthy of entering Eretz Israel. He said, apparently, as I recall, maybe incorrectly so, that there were just two things that he did not understand, he did not know. The whole of Torah. He didn't have an answer. So he felt unworthy of entering Eretz Israel. At the same time, we live, if we look at this as representative of the Torah portion of Vayetze and Yaakov's dream, his aspiration was to unite his children's children, the stones representing his family, bring them all together in a circle. And was he asleep, or was he in deep hisparadus, deep meditation, and dreaming of entering Eretz Israel? And in this day and age, we're blessed with Rashis Tamichas Gulasena, the beginning of the redemption. And we have symbolized in the bottom, as we're facing what is stage right, we would say, bottom right-hand corner, you have the fruits of Eretz Israel. So, and I like to stylize them, I like to play with them. Figs, the two figs in concert, as candles. So and this idea of joining the candles together, Yaakov Avinu went to Sukkot, the Sukkah of Shalom. And so here's a question: we have the four worlds symbolized by Samach, Vav, Lamed, Mem. And the question is, and the ultimate aspiration, I think, is to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. So this is dream, and in the Beis Hamikdash we had 7-branch menorah. It's echoed with the fruits, the 7 fruits. Does it start on the ground with the 7 fruits, or does it start with the Beis Hamikdash in Shemayim? And comes Hanukkah, that's sopra, it's one above. So for the musicians, you got I'm throwing everything in here, but the ladder is la scala. It's the scale. So yeah, do re mi fa sol la si. That's the 7th. That's your blues note, and then it goes do re mi fa sol la si do, and it starts again, and that's the 8th, but it's the 1. Do re mi fa sol la si do re mi fa si do, and the higher you go higher. It's going up the ladder of la scala. And until you reach the ultimate height. So the question is, to Rabbi Cahana, is if we look at these 4 worlds, Asiya, Yetzira, Beria, Atzilus, would you say that the pasuk in Torah, as far as I recall, says that there's a ladder from the ground, earthward. So it was planted on the ground, or coming from Shemayim down, as we hope to see one day that the Beis Hamikdash is going to come down from Shemayim to earth. And also intertwined with this idea is
it was planted on the pillow, on the rock.
It was planted on the pillow, the rock.
On his head. And the Torah says the angels were going up and down. And we know Mordechai wrote that the angels carry out neshama to Shemayim every night that we go to sleep.
So it says that the angels, the Torah says, the angels were going up and down. And my father says, Mordechai, that we know that every night our souls are carried up and down. When we sleep, are carried up to Shemayim, our neshamot.
Rejoin God.
To rejoin God.
What they carrying to a man that was fleeing, that was running? What do you think? The word "soar" has the same letters as the word "roots," to run, but the rock is fixed.
Mordechai, so my father's asking you, what can an angel carry to a man who's on the run, who has nothing that he's carrying? What are the angels carrying and taking up? That the word rock, sur, is the same letters as the word larutz, to run, that he's fleeing, but instead of running in motion, the rock is fixed in place.
Wow. So you're asking me?
Oh, yes, I'm asking you. The rock is planted. Actually, everyone knows the word 12 rocks. We already envisioned as 12 signs.
Everyone knows that, right? That he put around him 12 rocks.
And they became when everything that goes to Shamayim, he called it Shar Shamayim.
Everything goes up to the heavens.
Everything that goes to Shar, to Shamayim, becomes one. Everything becomes part of God's oneness. So
12 individual rocks that become his 12 individual sons. But when he goes to sleep, when things go up to the gates of heaven, the Shara Shemayim, all of the individuality becomes oneness in the gate in the house of God.
because it's not fixed. Angels, what is the tempo of their ascent?
What's the tempo of their ascent?
What's the cadence?
What's the cadence?
The cadence.
And where? What are they bringing from his day? Which says to the Parashat Vayetzeh Mebeshava Vayetze.
The sentence says that Jacob ran away from the city of 7 wells, and he went to the city of anger.
Yes.
But he walked. He left and he walked only in the Torah. That was say. He escaped, he ran away by Yaakov.
But he's walking. He's exiting stage left. Only does it say in the Haftorah that he runs away by Yaakov.
Fleeing for his life.
Fleeing for his life.
But the running is, like you said, up the scale to the heavenly gates.
But the running, like you said, Mordechai, is up the scale of the heavenly cadence.
The angels
Uphill.
carry our dreams, carry every day that we live up to the Almighty. We're judged every day. We're bringing our soul to be re-cleansed from the earthly world.
But the angels, they're carrying our dreams. They're carrying each one of our days up to heaven, where our souls can be re-cleansed from the earthly realm.
You know, there's a thought that comes to mind, if I may.
Yeah.
And it's again sort of back to back, or thoughts of the Shoah. And I'm thinking also of Rav Sachs, Zeichet Tzadik Livracha, whose yard site was a couple of weeks ago. And for some reason, I keep thinking about him somehow attached to in this painting. Keeps resonating in my head. You know, his name was Yaakov Tzvi ben David Aryeh, and everybody knew him as Rav Jonathan Sachs. I don't know why. his name was not Jonathan, but that's another. It's not for me to ask that, but Yaakov resonates so strongly in my mind with about knowing of about Rav Sachs, and I think of this of Yaakov Avinu and the quest of Rav Sachs in some ways being very similar. For Yaakov to be an uphill battle, and at the same time with a hope, eternal hope of trying to unite Am Yisrael and indeed to reach out to all the nations of the world and bring us all to one, to Yachdus, to oneness and harmony. And I think that is strongly manifested in the possibility of Eretz Yisrael, that we have Eretz Yisrael to go to this day and age. And Rashis Tzemichas Gulasena, the beginning of our redemption. And you said about the word rats is to run away, but this is also going to Eretz Yisrael. We can enter or we can run away from, either physically or metaphorically.
It's very beautiful. As a matter of fact, you're right. I was at the very frontier, the outer edge of Eretz Israel. It's exactly where the Sukkah was planted. I am the angels of Eretz Israel were the ones ascending. I am the angels of Galus, of Kutzlaris, were the ones descending.
You're exactly right, Mordechai. This story is happening on the stage of the end of Eretz Israel. It's right at that place where he's about to leave the land that he has this dream, and the angels that are going up are all of the angels of Eretz Israel who are making an aliyah. And all of the angels that are going down are the angels of the Chutz La'aretz, of the diaspora.
Well, two points that Rabbi Cahana, you asked me, what were the angels bringing or giving to Yaakov? And I like to think of them in musical terms. In fact, I would love to do a parallel painting to this, where it's more the Malachim are actually they're singing the way to Shemayim, because in the end, what do we have? Everything, the neshama, our tefillahs are song, the nigunim. And I mentioned earlier about the Shoah, and I was thinking of, I actually sung this once at the BI. You might have been there for Yom HaShoah. I was asked to sing Sagen hast du gestern letzten Weg. What's the last stanza of that? Is
Way I here.
mit Naganas in the hand. We have, and that's a play on words, because a Nagana is maybe etymologically a gun, or it's a hand grenade. And what's the hand grenade? The Nagana. Mit Naganas, a nigun in the hand, you have a song. That's the song of our neshama. And that gives all the hope. And I'm just tying this in with what I said earlier about Rav Sachs. I think that was his whole res and detra, his whole thing was hope. He always talks about hope. and the grapes, for some reason I couldn't resist these two malachim going into the base of Mikdash. They may be. Here's a question. I thank God I received a commission last year to do. This was for a gentleman in Yerushalayim. I never met him, and just a whole sequence of Beshet coincidences. But he emailed me and he requested a painting of the two meraglim carrying the grapes. And I had done a large painting of that with a caption on it, with a play on words from Tehillim, Yefa'eh Anavim Bishua, that the redemption comes about from the humble, the Anavim. Of course, it depends how you spell Anavim. It can, with a bet or a vav, can be humble, or it can be grapes. So the redemption of the grapes. So my question is, you said about the 12 sons. So here we've got the two who maybe were Yoshua and Caleb redeeming the grapes. So this particular gentleman in Yerushalayim, he didn't quite understand what I was getting at, Yefeh Anavim Bishua, as a caption. I don't get it. Anyway, we settled for a pasuk from Musaf. Shata aleinu b'simcha li'atzenu. Shata aleinu b'simcha li'atzenu. That we should enter Eretz Yisrael with simcha. So my question is, what do you think comes first? Yefa'eh Anavim Bishua, with humility, with humbleness, or let's go, Shata aleinu b'simcha li'atzenu.
God will always restore. To be enough is the goal of everyone. To not take up space, but to make more room for God. Because the depth of meaning is that God is the Redeemer. And God, Almighty God, will bring Netach Yisrael, the eternity of our people. Lord Sukkah will always be the element of truth and Eretz Yisrael.
God the Redeemer will bring redemption eternally.
Amen.
And now, on Kristallnacht, my wife's grandfather, also in Vienna, was arrested and he was taken to Dachau. My father-in-law had just graduated the gymnasium, and he was set to escape last year.
On Kristallnacht, my my mother's grandfather was arrested and sent to Dachau, and my grandfather was sent out to escape from Vienna.
began the pipes. On the next day of Kristallnacht, he was walking on the pavement, and he saw a spectacle. I saw a Nazi Gestapo around an old man who was cleaning the cobblestones of the street.
On the next day after Kristallnacht, my grandfather saw a spectacle. He saw a Gestapo, and he saw a man who was cleaning the cobblestone of the street
With a toothbrush,
with a toothbrush.
and they were jeering, and they were mocking him and laughing as they encircled him. My father-in-law went up to them and said, "Please let me take his place."
And they were jeering, and they were laughing, and they were prodding him on as he went away and kept working and cleaned the glass-strewn floor with his toothbrush. And my grandfather went up to them and said, "Please let me take his place."
And they said, "You'll both clean the streets."
The Nazis said, "You'll both clean the streets."
So my father-in-law,
This was in Vienna?
in Vienna,
In Vienna.
outside the shul,
I didn't know you were from Vienna, Yechus.
outside the shul,
Outside the shul.
where my father's grandfather was the president of the shul that was now simmering from the fire that destroyed it the night before.
Oh.
The
You
same
know the name
shul,
of the shul?
the same shul that my father's great grandfather,
Grandfather.
my great grandfather was the president of the shul.
Always now.
The same shul that was still simmering from the fire of the night before.
Do you know the name of the shul?
I know where it is, but it's in the 5th district.
He knows where it is, but it's discreet.
That was the 5th district.
It was in the 5th district. So.
Ah,
Uh,
my father, shul that my father went to, my Zeder was the Gabbai at the Seitenstättengasse, which was the one shul that remained in Vienna because the Nazis didn't want to destroy, they wanted to keep it as a museum to show what they had destroyed. And also it was the shul was between other buildings, so they didn't want to destroy that particular shul.
They didn't destroy anything, only their own souls.
Only
The Nazis didn't destroy anything.
They,
The only thing they destroyed was their own souls.
they were their souls that has no redemption.
They broke their souls to the point that they had no redemption.
Their souls.
Where was your family from before Vienna?
From Poland
From Poland.
years before.
So my Zayda, apparently he had a red beard. What else is new? But he was originally from Yaroslav, southeast Poland. And he got a stelle in Vienna. That's how he ended up in Vienna.
Yes. Let me tell you one thing more, Mordechai. Behind me in my booth, behind my bed.
My father wants to tell you one thing more. Behind him in his bed.
Behind my bed is also a sulam.
Behind him, behind his head is also a ladder, a sulam.
That my mother depicted.
That his mother depicted.
It's the Sulam of Shalom.
The sulam of Esau.
The sulam of Esav.
Esau also had a sulam.
Esav also had a sulam.
May I see?
Where did the sulam reach?
So where did the sulam reach, Mordechai?
Of Sulam of Esav. Sounds like a round ladder.
A sulam.
Did I get it right or did I get it wrong?
Rung?
Wrong.
The sulam.
Sorry.
The sulam of Esau led to Auschwitz.
The sulam of Esav led to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Is the difference. Yaakov is the older the climber from the heel, from the ground, it climbs to the highest heavens. Esau is the destruction of mankind's soul that burns in the ovens after their own making to demise the world. It is divided from meaning or meaninglessness. Yaakov lived for purpose, for the ecstasy of wherever he goes. He's bringing God's peace As a matter of fact, when he wakes up, he said, I didn't know that God was even there at the edge. God will carry me. And he made his nature. When I come back from godless, and I have created my world in godless, they're prepared and created to come to Zion, to this bad place, to celebrate God's peace and fulfill the redemption of humanity's soul forever. This is the dream of Yaakov Avinu. I have another question. Mordechai, Ramban tells us, Ramban says that Yaakov Avinu did not make a vow of condition. He only said to the angels, bring me and my family back to Eretz Israel.
Rambam, Mordechai, my father has a question for you. Ramban says that Yaakov didn't make a vow of condition. He only said to the angels, make sure that my family returns back home safe.
I will complete the mission
And I will complete the mission
of bringing the outside world into the holy Kedusha.
that I will bring the outside world into the holy Kedusha
Of Eretz Israel.
of Eretz Yisrael.
How many rungs do you think are on the Sulam?
How many rungs do you think are on the Sulam?
Well, I've got more than 4, and it's a question. There's a concept of 4 rungs, or 70 nations, or how many do we hear more? Make an offer. I have a question related to that.
I want to tell you that I believe there were 4 ones. What are each rung represents a higher and an ascent higher and fulfilling. Which meter, which aspects of life do the angels take from us from our earthly mortal world, the coil of our lives and bodies. What's on the lowest rung that begins the ascent of our lives? What do you think?
Each one of the rungs represents a higher level. Each of the 4 rungs represents something else. Mordechai, what do you think is on the lowest rung?
So do we look at the lowest rung as being the world of a seer, and the concept related to that would be the domain of David the Melech, Sukkah Hanafelet, that the Sukkah of David the Melech is down. We're still down on this earthly plane, and then aspiring to rise to bring Malchus to Keter. Or do we look at it from a sort of hafuch kind of concept, that the spiritual domain is actually in the Sukkah, Atzilus? So
Everything is spiritual.
So, but that's the highest. Isn't that the highest level?
Yes, but the whole point of life is to bring heaven on earth. When he wakes up, God is standing on his head. On Yaakov Abinadab. God was there. We had brought God to earth, exactly what we're supposed to do. Our dreams are to pull God's presence all around us, no matter what. So what does God find is our greatest quality on earth? Humanity's best is here. What is that brings God? To walk in the garden, to stroll in the breeze of our life. What quality?
What quality does God ask us to stroll in the breeze of our lives?
God strolls in the garden when he called for Adam and said,
God strolled in the garden when he called for Adam and said, Ayeka.
Ayeka.
So I believe that the love of family, one to other, initiated by the extraordinary burning love of conjugal, spousal love, the creators on earth of family, man to his wife, who he's clinging to forever. He left his father and mother. He left his home. And now when he will come back with Rachel, he will bring to his home the broken down every story in the Tanakh. Everyone's story is the destruction of my childhood home and the reconstruction,
Ah,
the Chanukah Bayit, the models of coming home to our parents' home, advancing the values through the love created in Godless outside to recreate a Beit HaMikdash in everyone's home. That's on the first rung.
wow. We're
What,
still on the first rung.
where do we go from there?
Uh, so I have a question. My understanding, if I'm not mistaken, that did I hear correctly that your bar mitzvah portion is Parashat Vayetzeh?
Yes,
Your father's bar mitzvah was Vayetze and also Devir's.
yes,
So
and yes.
and who?
And yes.
And you have another one. Yes. So there's Cain and yes.
Yes, yes, and yes.
That's beautiful. So is this Le Dor and the continuation of the Maseret,
It's up to God. It's up to the Almighty.
Dr. Ribbon Shalom.
If you so will allow. What is the next one after Abba? Abba is such a holy instrument that God allowed. When I saw my wife, I met the Almighty in her face.
Oh,
When I saw my wife, I met the Almighty in her face.
you sound
So-
like a poet. That's
I-
beautiful.
We have a paradigm created of 4 rungs, 4 different levels of rising upwards. And at the bottom of it, at the base, we have this tradition of dor ledor, from generation to generation. That's exactly what Jacob has at the base of his head. He's sitting on the rocks that will be created towards his children on the other side of his return, his 12 children, 12 tribes. And the word sur, is rock,
Dina.
and daughter Dina, and the word sur is rock,
Yeah.
but the word av ben is also rock,
I've been. Yeah.
Evan.
I've been.
And so I want to introduce this second artist that we have in our presence. We heard from Mordechai, but we also have in our presence the honor of Rabbi Ronnie Cahana. Rabbi Cahana is a scion of a long line of rabbinic luminaries. Swedish-born and US-raised, educated and ordained, Rabbi Ronnie Cahana enjoyed an international rabbinate, serving pulpits in Bolivia, Sweden, USA, and Canada before becoming Congregation Bethel's rabbi in 2001, and now serving as the Shari Tzedek Bethel Rabbi Emeritus. A lifelong activist, Rabbi Cahana earned a Swedish Peace Prize for co-founding the Nordic Center for Interreligious Dialogue and for his peace mission during the Bosnian War. And he is also a 2012 recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for significant contribution to Canada. Since his stroke in 2011, Rabbi Cahana has devoted his free time to writing Divrei Torah for the Amen Institute, poetry for his blog, and he's currently working on a series called The Lockdown Poetry, for which he received the Canada Council Arts Grant. His poetry and sermons can be found at Beroshit, his blog. The Cahana family now has 10 continuous generations in the Holy Land of Israel, Zion. You've presented for us a paradigm of 4 rungs to the ladder, but you've written in and congealed those thoughts into a poem that you've written about this topic. So in conclusion, I'd like you to share with us, Rabbi Cahana, this poem that you've written about what the 4 rungs represent.
Let's read it.
Please read it. May we have heaven down, Ahava ahead. Is the cool sunshine adrift in my song? Is it tropical in a region we begot? Is it undertow of current or overflow outflung? Or lips upon a border I will own? Boteach, the promises. Yes, I will outlive your claptrap and latch to have the divine. You dress the image as territory plain, that dare not confine nor explain. Kedusha, kindness covers it. Maybe a semaphore in the cirrus clouds will deliver our devotion. Kedut, holy redemption. That banquet is set. This universe resembles. The consort attunes. All of earth up close trembles.
Amen.
I can't read.
Yeah, I just remember. The probably like I left it far. Sorry.
Thank you both so much
Yeah.
Thank you.
for being here, for sharing this space, for bringing your full selves to this first iteration of articulation.
Thank you for the beautiful poem.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
There's a pasuk between verse 15 in Parashat Vayetzeh, and it's between, in the codes, every 26 letters going to this verse, and 26 letters going backwards to the verse. And the 26 letters going to the verse spell the word Torah. And the word going backwards to the verse in the middle is the word Mikdash. You have the path of Torah, and the destination is Mikdash. And yet in between, the Pasuk says, V'hinei anochi imach, ushmaticha b'chol asher telech. Behold, I'll be with you wherever you go, Hashem says, on your journey. So beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you for this extraordinary schus. Just lots of brachas. May the sulam turn into shalom, ahava ve'achava v'shalom v'reus forever.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.